Hello miners, Munchmo here with the new possible series. I decided that I think I'm going to try my hand at a tutorial series on gates. It seems to be something that a lot of people don't understand fully, and I think there's enough to cover in at least 2 to 3 different videos, so I think I'm just going to kind of get started here and explain what a gate is, what a gate does, that sort of thing. So our first step is what it takes to make a gate. You need 2 things here. You need this thing here, which is known as an assembly table. Let me see if I can figure out how to show you the recipe here. It's wrong button. Options. Right now I'm in cheat mode because I should just be in creative. So, okay, assembly table. This is made simply by... I gotta put the M in assembly table, by making that on the crafting table. Pretty easy, takes a few diamonds, not a problem. And this assembly table will take what you need in it to make any sort of gate. We're going to start with just the basic gate today, which takes a redstone chipset, which that is made in an assembly table with redstone. Simple, easy peasy. Now, once you've got that, let's go ahead and grab some redstone, put it back into cheat mode. Grab a stack of redstone. Well, that's more than a stack. We stick it in there, and that gives us what it is that we can... let's do this instead. There we go. So we put this in here, and that shows us what we can do. And when you click on this, it begins producing it if it's getting any power. Right now it's not, because you need these things here, lasers. For lasers, again, it's just... Getting a couple more diamonds, stuff like that. Simple crafting, no big deal. With that, you place them, hook them up to a power source that is MJ's, which means an engine of some sort. You can use more than one, you can use just one. The more you have, the more power you have behind it, the faster they work. So you can see it's pulling in 2 millijoules per tick, Minecraft joules, there we go. That sort of thing. If we were to say throw in some more engines, you know what, let me go into creative game mode 1. Okay, so if we were to go in here, let's start here, put that there, and then that there. No, rotate, thank you. And we do the same thing here. We'll just run some wire here. Bam, oops, bam. And now we'll be getting even more power in. See, now we're pulling it up 3, more engines behind it. Each one of these takes a lot of energy, and it takes a while for it to do what it's doing here. So once you've got the redstone circuit made, then you can... Where's the redstone circuit? Then, no, wrong mode. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. Wrong. Okay, let's go back to cheat mode, and let's go back to creative. I mean... not creative, regular. Okay, so once you've got that and you've got these things made, you stick them in here, simple enough, and you can make what's known as a gate. We're going to turn that off and start the gate. That takes a while too. So once this thing finishes what it's doing, it will either spit it out on the ground, send it down through a pipe, or drop it directly in a chest that this thing sits on top of. So you don't have to stand there and wait for it. Your best bet, if you're starting out early, is just to put a chest underneath it and have it collect into the chest there. Let's see, and it'll automatically put it in there. Once you get later in the game and you want to automate the process, you can put pipes in there to pipe it out and pipe stuff back into it, because when you pipe into it, it goes into this side if you know what you want it to make. Now that you understand how a gate is made, let's talk about how it's used. For gates, they always attach to some form of pipe. You've got any kind of pipe can accept a gate, even this structural pipe. Now we're going to talk a little bit about structural pipe. This pipe does nothing except allow you to put gates on it or run wire. When you attach a gate to any form of pipe, you have different options depending on what that gate is sitting next to. Since this one's next to a chest, it has the default redstone signal on, redstone signal off, and then it defaults to, because this is a chest, it has an inventory slot. So it can see if there's space in inventory, if the inventory's full, if there are any items in the inventory, if it's empty, and that's all it can do there. Now, if you watch and we put a gate up here, we might have different options. This one, since it's attached to a pipe that can have something in it, can see if the pipe's empty, if there's power traversing the pipe. Same thing with the redstone signals. This one allows it to see energy status of the item here, which is the laser, if it has no energy, or there's energy stored, or if it can store energy, if it has full energy. So the first side is your conditional. Now, we will get into, further along in the series, other types of gates that have multiple conditionals and that sort of thing. But so far, we're just going to start with the simplest of them, the gates. Now, if we put it up against a machine, like the fermenter, you'll see here, it can recognize the same thing before, if the pipe's empty, if it has power in it, redstone signal, inventory. But this machine has a liquid tank, so it can detect if the tank is empty, if there's liquid in it, if there's space for a liquid, if it's full, again with the energy. So these are pretty smart, and this one even interacts with this because this has a slot called fuel for like mulch or fertilizer, so it can tell you if it's below 25% on fuel, below 10% on fuel, or if the resources, which for this machine is up here, if that's low. It can also use that if it has work to do, whether or not, doesn't matter the levels of anything, if it has work to do, that's a conditional. Other machines may have other things. I don't know all of the conditionals, but for the most part you can click through here and they mostly make sense. Like if there's power going through the pipe, that power traversing will only work on conductive pipes. Redstone signal, they all have the ability to detect a redstone signal. And the lowest level gate, that's all it can do. So if we look here now, once we've set our conditional, we can tell it what we want to have happen with this side. So if this thing says there's space in inventory, our options with just a simple gate is to either send a redstone signal or not do anything. That's all the options we have, is redstone signal on or off. Now, you might be wondering why would that be good or bad? Or why would I need that? Well, let's say if we did this a little bit differently here, I'll show you the best thing here. Let's go into creative mode because that's easiest. If I can figure out how to do it. So, oh, and I did it. Okay, so, okay, wait, what? Okay, let's try that. There we go. So, okay, let's set this thing up just a little bit differently. We're going to take one of these things and we're going to put it right there up against them like that, okay? So, actually, that's not going to work, is it? Because it has to have the other pipe in there, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Better example. We're going to use a pump. Let's go water. Let's create ourselves an infinite spring real quick, and I'll show you how this can be useful. Okay, so we got an infinite spring here. Yeah. Let's try that again. Get a real infinite spring going. There. Okay. So if we stick down a pump, if I can type again. So we throw down our pump. I'm having issues here. Okay. Pump. Right. It does a job. Now we put in a conductive or a liquid. Not a liquid duct. We want waterproof. No. Waterproof golden pipe. There we go. We put this here, yada, 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 like that. And then we put a gate on it here. And this can detect the pipe here as well. Detect the tank of the pump, which the pump has its own tank. And then from there, we can grab a redstone engine and pop it right there. And if we set this like that, it should, see that now, if there is no water, if the tank, oops, actually that'll work there too, right? Yeah, if the tank in the pump is empty, it outputs a redstone signal. And while we're at it, let's grab a tank over here. Okay, just to build up here. So if it detects that the tank in the machine is empty, it turns the redstone signal on, which turns the engines on. And we'll break this just so we can get this full. So eventually, if this pipe is full, this tank is full, the tank inside the pump will fill with water and this will turn off. And as you can see, once it reaches a certain limit, it will do that anyway. And this can be useful in a lot of different ways. Mostly it's great for, let's say we have a wooden pipe here, okay, on a chest, put our gate in there, and let's say this wooden pipe goes out to some sort of machine. I don't know what machine you want it to go to. We'll send it to Macerator. Why not? We're not actually going to do anything with it, but pooh, goes to the Macerator. So let's say we want to know when an item hits this chest. We want it to light up, because this is where some super special thing goes, and we want to know when it happens. We can take something here. How about buzzer? Is that what it's called? No, industrial alarm. Yeah, there we go. That's the industrial alarm is what I'm looking for. So we can take this alarm, pop it right on top, right? Can't put it right on top. Okay, put it there, right? And then we can also put a redstone engine on that thing. Watch. Redstone engine there. So if an item hits this pipe, it's going to turn on the redstone signal. Or if an item goes in the chest. See? And then it pumps it out immediately. So you can know that you got the item that you want. And then it's automatically going to go to the Macerator and do its thing. So if you're worried about chests getting full, you can set this so that if, you know, the inventory is full, it turns on. Or if you want to know if you're out of things, if there's space in the inventory, or if the... Oh yeah, it actually can detect the signal, or here, let me get rid of that thing. It can also detect, as a conditional, the energy level of your engine as well. So if the engine's blue, which means it's cold, if it's green, which means it's warm, or yellow, which means it's hot, or red, it means it's about to blow up. So it can actually detect the state of your engines, which is something we'll go over later when one of the other episodes covering more complex series of gates. Okay, so now that I've got this here, let me grab a little bit more water to fill this thing so you can see what happens once this gets full here. But you can see how this might be useful with just a simple gate. Unfortunately, the very first level of gate, it's just known as gate, the only things it can do is either send out redstone or not send out redstone. So later on, as you build better things, build higher level gates, you'll be able to have them do different things. Now there is something else here known as an autarkic gate, which this is the same as a regular gate, except let's get that wooden pipe back here. Wooden pipe. I didn't mean to break it. So okay, so we get the wooden pipe here, here, and the autarkic gate. I can do this. I swear I can do this. The autarkic gate has the same things as its conditionals on the left side, but on the right side you have this extra option of energy pulsar, and then you have the redstone signal. So it's the same as a regular gate, except it gives you a second option here for energy pulsar. And what that energy pulsar is the same thing basically as if you had a redstone engine. So let's say if they're same thing as before, item in inventory, you put an item in there and it pulses and sends the item out instead of sending out a redstone signal to activate a redstone engine. So this conserves space, but unfortunately, since this is just a simple gate, it can only do one thing. So it can't send out the redstone signal to activate your alarm. It can only turn the energy pulsar on when it sees an item in there. So I think as you can see now, the tank here, it has liquid in tank, so it's stopped, and this is full. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much all there is to cover when it comes to just the first level of gates. Hopefully I've helped a little bit here. Next time we are going to talk about iron gates. And, oh, oops, thing is full with cobble. Anyway, so next time we're going to talk about iron gates and what they can be used for. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below in the video. And if you are thinking this series might be useful and you want to see more, definitely show me that you're interested in more by clicking the like button below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time.